You see, in life, it's not always about swinging your fists or throwing the first punch. Sometimes, the greatest battles are won without ever stepping into the ring. Think about that for a second. Winning without fighting. It's about patience, discipline, and outthinking your enemy. You see, the real power is in control over yourself, control over your emotions, and control over how you handle conflict. Because the moment you react, the moment you lash out, you've already given your enemy something. And let me tell you this, the most dangerous enemy is the one who can stay calm, focused, and strategic. If you can keep your cool while they lose theirs, you've already won. That's how you destroy your enemy without ever laying a hand on them. Winning doesn't always mean stepping into a fight or throwing punches. Sometimes the strongest victories come when you don't engage at all. It's not about proving physical strength or showing aggression. True strength lies in knowing when to hold back, in recognizing that every battle doesn't have to be fought with force. When you understand that, you realize that the most powerful moves are often the ones you don't make. It's about mastering the art of restraint, allowing your enemy to exhaust themselves while you remain steady and composed. By doing this, you win without having to fight at all. The greatest battles are often won without ever stepping onto the battlefield. It's not about the fight itself, but about understanding the bigger picture. Sometimes, the most impactful victories are the ones where no punches are thrown, where no physical confrontation is needed. This happens when you outsmart, outmaneuver, and outlast your opponent mentally. By staying calm and composed, you force your enemy into a position where they make mistakes, lose focus, or even self-destruct. It's a higher level of victory won where you've triumphed not by overpowering them, but by making them realize the fight was never worth starting. Patience and discipline are your greatest weapons when it comes to handling conflict. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to react, to jump into action, but real power comes from knowing when to wait. Patience allows you to see things clearly, to assess the situation without being clouded by emotion or haste. It's like a chess game, each move is calculated, and every step forward is deliberate. Discipline keeps you focused, stops you from making rash decisions, and ensures that you are in control of yourself. When you master these two qualities, you can see your enemy's weaknesses long before they even realize they've exposed them. And in that moment, you've already won, because you've let time and strategy do the fighting for you. Control over your emotions is one of the greatest forms of power you can possess. In the face of conflict, emotions can run high: anger, fear, frustration. They can all cloud your judgment and push you into making decisions you'll regret. But when you have control, when you can remain calm and collected, you strip your enemy of the power they might have had over you. They expect you to react, to lash out, to show weakness. But instead, you become unreadable, unshakable. It's like standing in the eye of a storm. Everything around you is chaotic, but you're still focused and in command. This emotional control gives you clarity and strength, while your enemy struggles to keep theirs in check. You don't need to fight because you've already won the battle inside yourself. And that's where true victory begins within. The moment you react impulsively, you hand over power to your enemy. Think about it: when you act out of anger or frustration, you're no longer in control of the situation. Your enemy now knows how to push your buttons, how to manipulate your emotions, and they'll use that against you. By reacting without thinking, you're giving them exactly what they want, a sign that they've gotten under your skin. Every reaction you have becomes a weapon in their hands, making you vulnerable and predictable. But if you stay composed, if you resist the urge to strike back, you deny them that satisfaction. You keep the power where it belongs, with you. It's about understanding that silence and restraint can be louder and more effective than any outburst. When you control your reaction, you maintain the upper hand, because your enemy is left guessing, frustrated by their inability to rattle you. And in that space of calm, you make smarter, stronger decisions, leaving your enemy confused and weakened. Staying calm in the face of conflict is one of the most powerful strategies you can employ. When everything around you is tense, when emotions are running high, and your enemy is trying to provoke you, remaining calm becomes a weapon in itself. Calmness allows you to think clearly, to see the situation for what it really is, without the fog of emotion clouding your judgment. Your enemy, on the other hand, expects you to be rattled, to lose control, to make a misstep. But when you remain composed, you disarm them. A calm demeanor shows strength and confidence. It sends a message that you're not easily shaken, that you're in control of the situation no matter what's happening. It frustrates and weakens your enemy because they don't know how to break through your calm exterior. While they're busy trying to provoke or intimidate you, their own emotions may start to spiral out of control. In that moment, they become vulnerable, reacting instead of strategizing. By staying calm, you not only protect yourself from impulsive decisions, but also let your enemy destroy themselves with their own frustration and impatience. Calmness isn't just a state of mind, it's a tactical advantage. Outthinking your enemy is far more powerful than trying to outfight them. Physical strength or aggression might win a moment, but intelligence and strategy win the war. The key is to approach every conflict with a sharp mind, seeing the bigger picture and anticipating your opponent's moves before they even make them. When you outthink your enemy, you're not just reacting to what they do, you're several steps ahead, orchestrating the situation in your favor. This means understanding your enemy's motivations, their weaknesses, and even their fears. It's about using logic and insight, not force, to neutralize the threat. While your enemy is busy trying to overpower you, you're quietly steering them into a corner they can't escape from. By thinking strategically, you can set traps without ever lifting a finger, and your enemy will walk right into them. It's like playing chess. You don't win by brute force, you win by predicting and outsmarting every move your opponent makes. Outthinking your enemy also means knowing when not to engage, recognizing that sometimes the best strategy is to let them make the first mistake. And when they do, you're ready not to fight, but to dismantle their plan with precision and intelligence. Victory through strategy leaves a lasting impact, and it shows that true power lies not in aggression, but in control of the mind. Strategic thinking allows you to neutralize your enemy without ever having to resort to violence or confrontation. It's about using your mind as the ultimate weapon. A well-thought-out strategy is like an invisible force, slowly working behind the scenes to undermine your opponent's efforts without them even realizing it. Instead of charging head-on into a conflict, strategic thinking helps you to outmaneuver and outposition your enemy before a fight even begins. By being strategic, you control the narrative and set the terms of engagement. You pick your battles carefully, choosing when to act and when to hold back. Every move is calculated, designed to put your opponent at a disadvantage while keeping you in a position of strength. It's about being one step ahead, predicting their moves and setting up scenarios where they are forced to make mistakes or reveal their weaknesses. Sometimes strategy involves subtle actions, building alliances, gathering information, or simply waiting for the right moment to strike. Other times it's about not acting at all, allowing your enemy to exhaust their resources or make a misstep out of impatience or overconfidence. You turn their aggression against them, making them believe they're winning when, in reality, they're walking into a trap. In the end, a well-executed strategy lets you defeat your enemy without engaging in a fight. The victory is clean, precise, and undeniable, leaving your opponent defeated not by brute strength, but by superior intellect. It's a lasting kind of victory, one that demonstrates the true power of the mind over force. Your enemy loses when they become trapped in their own emotional reactions. When faced with conflict, their instinct might be to lash out, to provoke, or to intimidate, but this often leads them down a path of self-destruction. When you maintain your composure, you create a psychological advantage that can lead them to make impulsive decisions. The more they attempt to rattle you, the more they expose their vulnerabilities. As they react emotionally, they may reveal information about their plans, their fears, and their weaknesses. They become predictable, letting their anger, frustration, or desperation dictate their actions. This is where the true power of emotional control comes into play. By keeping a level head, you can read their reactions and use them to your advantage, turning their aggression against them. For example, if they escalate their threats, it might cause them to overreach, making decisions that are not strategically sound. Instead of engaging in a fight, you can patiently observe and wait for the right moment to counter their moves, exploiting the very emotions that led them to act rashly. Their emotional turmoil becomes the catalyst for their downfall, while you stand strong, unmoved by their antics. In this way, your calmness doesn't just protect you, it dismantles their confidence and composure. As they flounder in their emotional responses, you maintain control of the situation, allowing you to dictate the terms of engagement. Ultimately, it's about transforming their emotional outbursts into opportunities for you to gain the upper hand without ever having to raise a fist. The real defeat lies not in physical combat, but in the psychological warfare that leaves your enemy disarmed and vulnerable. Victory rooted in self-control is far more profound than any physical triumph. When you manage to keep your emotions in check during conflict, you achieve a level of composure that most cannot maintain. This self-control allows you to rise above the fray, to see the situation clearly, and to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It positions you as a steady force, one that your enemy cannot easily disrupt or manipulate. The beauty of this kind of victory is that it often goes unnoticed. While others may engage in battles that leave them exhausted and scarred, you emerge unscathed, having navigated the conflict with grace and intelligence. Your ability to maintain calm in chaos gives you a unique advantage. It shows that you are not just a fighter, you are a strategist who understands that true power comes from within. Moreover, self-control fosters a sense of confidence that radiates outward. When you know you can handle any situation without losing your cool, you approach conflicts with a sense of purpose and clarity. This confidence can intimidate your enemy as they sense that their tactics may not work against someone who remains unfazed by their provocations. Additionally, mastering self-control allows you to choose your battles wisely. You can discern when it's necessary to engage and when it's better to walk away. In situations where a fight may not yield meaningful results, self-control empowers you to focus on long-term goals rather than short-term victories. Ultimately, victory through self-control is about empowerment and resilience. It sends a powerful message that you are in charge of your own destiny. When you conquer your inner turmoil, you dismantle the enemy's ability to shake you. That's where the true strength lies, being able to face any challenge, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, and coming out on the other side as the victor. In the grand tapestry of life, the most profound victories are often those fought without the clash of fists. True strength is not measured by the ability to overpower an opponent, but by the wisdom to navigate conflict with intelligence, patience, and emotional control. When you embrace the power of strategy over aggression, you become a master of your own fate. Each moment of calm, each calculated decision, chips away at your enemy's resolve while fortifying your own. So let us strive to harness this strength, to remain poised in the face of adversity, and to recognize that our greatest battles can be won with the mind, not the might. In doing so, we not only elevate ourselves, but also redefine what it means to truly triumph. As we walk this path, remember the art of victory lies not in destruction, but in the ability to rise above, outthink, and ultimately outlast. Thank you.